Simple Literacy's beginnings. Change. That is such a scary word. Life is full of change. Some change we initiate and welcome with open arms into our life. Other times we are faced with change that we must accept and learn how to make part of our lives. Regardless of how the change came to be in our lives, it is always scary, at least for me. The unknown can be terrifying, yet exhilarating at the same time. Growing up in a small college town, at the age of 18, I wanted nothing more but to explore the world outside of my little hometown, nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Western Virginia. When I was accepted to my #1 school out of state, I was beyond thrilled. This was everything I had worked for in high school, and it was time for me to be free. I initiated this change. I was the one who insisted I apply to schools far away. I was the one who hustled for scholarships. And I was the one who helped to cover a little bit of the out-of-state tuition costs by working. The idea of everything being new and different exhilarated me. New friends, new places, new experiences, new everything. What I didn't expect was that new also brought about fear. Fear of failure, judgment, not being accepted. The day my parents dropped me off for the first time and drove away, I vividly remember the excitement I had initially had became muddied with pure terror. I was now 6.5 hours from home with no car, no cell phone. These were not common things back then. Yes, I know that's a little bit wild and crazy to think about. And no plans to see my family until Thanksgiving. This is what I had dreamed of, and now I had to fully embrace this change. I am fairly confident to say that at some point in your life, you have initiated change that at first was exhilarating to think about, but once you actually got started, some doubt and fear set in. I believe these mixed emotions are necessary and help teach us to navigate better when change is something we do not initiate, but is placed upon us. Fast forward 25 years later, I am confronted with the same feelings I had the day my parents drove off and left me all alone among 30,000 strangers to start a new chapter of my life. Once again, I have initiated change into my life, starting my own digital tutoring platform, Simple Literacy. And yes, the feelings I have daily range from pure excitement to extreme terror, but I believe that my business will help more people than I could reach without a digital platform. So I keep going each day, push through my doubts and fears in order to make a change in the literacy world for our children. Keep listening to learn more about how Simple Literacy came to be and who it serves. It just might be the change you have been looking for. Hello, and welcome to Simple Literacy. The Simple Literacy podcast is your one-stop shop for tools, strategies, resources, and lessons to support your student on their literacy journey. Every Tuesday, I will get down to the basics and give you literacy tips and tricks that make helping your student uncomplicated, easy to understand, and downright simple. I'm Ashley Malakias, an elementary educator, passionate about helping find a way to fill the literacy gap in the education system. A mom of 2 busy elementary age kids, a committed Orton Gillingham Associate Tutor, and creator of Simple Literacy. At Simple Literacy, I have one focus in mind: to cultivate a nurturing community empowered to advance literacy using the science of reading methods. If you are devoted to helping your student, join me at Simple Literacy, where literacy is simplified and student success and confidence are nurtured. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Pinterest to get weekly tips and tricks on literacy. Together, we can turn any dark clouds of frustration into a horizon of beautiful, sunny skies. Fortunately, today's podcast will be more like a stroll in the park. We're just going to shoot the breeze and get to know each other. So, new friend, hopefully soon to be close friend, let's jump right in to why we have decided to enjoy each other's company today. The core of this conversation is about helping others. We both know someone who needs our help. So let's lace up our walking shoes and together cultivate a nurturing community empowered to advance literacy using the science of reading. First, let's take a stroll down memory lane. Well, my memory lane, because I believe understanding how simple literacy came to be is important to help cultivate this community. For me, it started a little less than 20 years ago in the classroom. It wasn't my first year teaching, because to be really honest, my first year teaching, I couldn't think about the kids. I couldn't think about anything else but surviving each day, each minute, each moment. So this is really more about after I had survived that initial year and actually was able to start thinking about my students and how I could actually help them learn and grow. So we're going to fast forward to year 2. Year 2, each new day was not as scary, and I was able to really embrace learning how to help my students. I signed up for all the trainings in my district that I possibly could. I wasn't married, I didn't have kids, I had a lot of extra free time, and my district is one of the largest in the country and offered amazing trainings. They would pay you, it would be all day on Saturday, and you would do a make and take or something that you could bring with you and implement on Monday. And that's exactly what I did. I went to as many trainings as I could, but I specifically focused a lot on reading. And I became an amazing reading teacher who could facilitate a guided reading group that could blow my kids' socks off. Well, most of their socks. And I know what you're thinking now. Wait, what? Why were not all of my students progressing with small group guided reading? My first couple of years, I just associated the fact that not everybody was progressing the way that they should be or that I thought they should be with my inexperience. But after a couple of years, there was something more to it, and I knew something wasn't right. Year after year, I kept seeing the same pattern. A few students who did not progress all, and a few others who only progressed a level or 2. Something was missing. Something needed to change. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that there was a reason why the reading interventions and teaching techniques that I was using were not working on these few students. This was not a good feeling. Quite frankly, it was a terrible feeling. And this is not why I went to school to be a teacher. How could I help most, but not all of my students? I really, truly couldn't imagine, and I still to this day can't imagine, what if I was one of those unlucky children who just didn't get into my I know how to help you category? 20 years later, I still can tell you their names and something about them. It's kind of like parent mom guilt, but I'm going to call it teacher guilt. I lost a lot of sleep over these kids over the years, and especially the year I was teaching them, because I didn't want them to be unlucky, and I certainly did not want to be the cause of that misfortune. This guilt led me on a quest to find a better way to teach them. It was a long journey, and to be completely honest, oftentimes very frustrating. But eventually I found the Orton Gillingham approach. I won't lie, I was skeptical at first. It actually took me 7 years to finally decide to start my training and earn my membership in the Orton Gillingham Academy. It's now been 5 years, and I have taught a variety of age groups in various educational settings using the Orton Gillingham methods that follow the science of reading. My first 2 students were my children. My daughter was 3 when I first introduced her to learning letters and sounds using a multisensory approach. Listen to this clip where she sounds out a word and reads it to her grandma while we were quarantined in March of 2020. And remember, she's only 3 years old.
Grandma, let me show how I can read. It, it.
Let's add on to it.
O, lip. Lip.
What's the word?
Lip.
Then I used the science of reading in a small group setting to teach 7 kindergarten students in a basement kindergarten that I created in the fall of 2020. I believe that they would all succeed and progress, but I honestly had no idea that they would progress as fast as they did. And it wasn't just one or two of them, it was all of them. This is actually a big light bulb moment for me, kind of a change in the way that I viewed Orton Gillingham and the purpose for it. Because I realized in this moment that this approach was more than just a method of teaching and techniques for students with learning differences or dyslexia. All students benefit from this explicit, multisensory, sequential literacy instruction. Now that I had seen this magic, if you will, in a small group instruction, and I saw it one-on-one with my daughter, plus the student that I had been tutoring, I was wondering, would it work in a whole group setting? Well, I had to find out. So my next stop was back into the public education setting in the classroom, where I taught it to 500 kids. The truth is, it was incredibly hard to manage a classroom of 30 students that I only saw for 50 minutes once every 7 school days. But yet again, I saw it working. It wasn't as impactful as the one-on-one or small group, but the students were grasping the phonics, morphology knowledge, and using the multisensory strategies to better retain the information. Those 3 years of teaching literacy using the science of reading methods made me truly understand why people look high and low for qualified instructors as tutors and teachers for our children. There is one huge problem. There are not enough highly trained educators in this field who are placed in settings where they can provide this type of instruction to the masses. I am constantly turning down tutoring inquiries due to schedule, location, and financial conflicts. My leap of curiosity years ago has now spiraled into a bit of an obsession to spread the knowledge about effective literacy instruction for all students to anyone who wants to be able to help someone in their life. With appropriate resources and methods, the new or struggling reader can build their confidence and succeed at reading. I've been fortunate to witness it over and over again. This is why I'm beyond excited to share Simple Literacy with you, my solution to making the science of reading instruction accessible to all. So now, the big question, is Simple Literacy right for you? I want you to listen to the next few questions. And I believe if you answer yes to 2 or more of these questions, then Simple Literacy could be the solution that you have been looking for. Do you know someone who you want or need to help grow a strong literacy foundation? Do you need assistance with how to support this learner? Do you want to build your students' confidence? Do you want to be a part of a learning community devoted to helping advance literacy? Do you want to be able to help your learner on your time when it fits into your schedule? Do you want to do it at no cost or a fraction of the cost of a one-on-one tutor? Again, if you answered yes to these questions or most of them, then Simple Literacy is for you. I'm going to keep it simple. I am here to educate parents and teachers on the fundamentals of literacy. You are here because you have someone in your life that you want to help, specifically in the area of literacy. Whether your special someone is a new or struggling reader, Simple Literacy provides tools, strategies, resources, and lessons for you to feel confident when helping your special someone grow to the best of their abilities. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I have loved sharing my teaching journey with you. I am devoted to helping you help your student. If there is a topic you want me to cover, please send me an email at simpleliteracy@gmail.com, letting me know what you want to chat about. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Pinterest. Tune in to my next podcast where we get into the really fun stuff, things that you can use immediately. Phonics at Home, which will highlight ways to make phonics fun and easy through gamification. Together, we can turn any dark clouds of frustration into a horizon of beautiful sunny skies.